Hi, hello, welcome to a sewing vlog. My name is Ashley and I am a beginner sewist, and today we're going to make an outfit that I'm really excited about. I am making the Pomona Pants by Anna Allen. I've made them multiple times. I've made them in shorts, I've made them in pants, and today we're going to color block them, and I'm really excited about this. I already have the pattern pieces cutted because I've used them before, cut. I've used them before, and then we're going to make a top out of a pattern that I've just like freehanded that I usually wear as a dress, but I'm going to turn it into a top for this outfit. I'm really excited. I'll show you. I literally just finished this one, but it's just this very simple like shift dress with a big ruffle at the bottom. I'm going to try to exaggerate the ruffle a little bit more. The problem is that I don't have a ton of fabric to work with. Also, time out. This is just a sewing vlog, just sew along with me. Like I said, I'm a beginner sewist and I am still figuring out what I'm doing. So this is not a tutorial. You can certainly follow along and learn from my mistakes, but this is just a sew along with me. So come along with me. It'll be fun. Back to what we're doing. So we're sewing the Pomona Pants by Anna Allen. I have the instructions up, but I probably could do this without the instructions, I think, because I've done it so many times. Probably. I'm looking at the instructions now. Yeah, probably. The fabric that we're using is this really lightweight cotton, I guess. So I had this fabric and it was like a lighter green than this, probably like a pale green. So I dyed it a more vibrant green, and then I dyed the other one this like dusty bluish, slightly teal-y color. And you can see that it has like very fine stripes in it. And so I'm going to color block this. I'm going to do one pant blue, one pant leg blue, one pant leg green, the top of the dress green with a blue ruffle, and then the reverse on the back. So top blue, green ruffle, I think. Blue, green, green, blue is what we're going to do. And then I'm going to put a pocket that is the opposite of the other one. I'm really excited about this. So what we need to do first, I'm also going to use contrast stitching. I'm going to use pink stitching, and I'm going to like finish all the edges really nicely so you can really see the pink stitching. So what do we have to do now is cut out the pattern pieces. I need to lay these out very strategically because I only have so much fabric to work with. I don't know what yardage I have. I think I have 3 yards of each fabric or each color, and I forget how much that the pants say that they need. Let's see, 3 yards. So we're testing our luck here, but we can do this. I have faith in us. Okay, let's get to cutting some fabric. So first we're going to cut out the pants. I'm cutting on my floor because that's all I have. And I'm hoping that I can use this space for the ruffle piece, and then that the top will fit down here. We'll see. I'm hoping this will work. Wish me luck. So I cut the pant out, and now I'm cutting out the top. So what I did was fold over the fabric to the width that I could get without like compromising the size of the ruffle. And so it's a little bit shorter than I want by a couple of inches. So I'm hoping the ruffle makes up for the length that I want. So now I'm going to cut this out. Okay, we've cut everything out. So as you saw, two things. As you saw, I cut the pants a little bigger than the pattern, and that's because I'm a little bigger than the pattern last time I used it. So I wanted to give myself a little bit of allowance, and I want them to be a little bit more flowy. And then there's nothing like a good pair of scissors. I love my scissors. I couldn't tell you what brand they are. They were a gift from a friend, but highly recommend getting yourself a good pair of scissors. Okay, next step is the pocket. I need to iron down all of the seams of the pocket and then sew them down, and then we'll sew them on to the pants. We're doing this. I love it. All right, let's do some sewing. So I serged all around the edges. I'm really going to try to finish everything really nicely because I want this to last a while. So I serged all around the edges, and then I'm going to do the folding over and stuff. I did 2 stitches along the top of the pocket and then to fold down the flap. And now I'm going to do the sides, fold them down, and then sew those down. All of these edges need to be sewed down, and then so I'll do it on the inside here, and then when I sew it on the pocket, I'll do it on the outside. Ta-da! When I cut out the pattern for the pants, I put 2 little marks for the top of the pocket. So you line those up, and now I'm gonna pin these in place and then sew on the pocket, and try to remember not to sew up the top because I've done that before. forgot to hit record. I just finished sewing on the pocket. It is puckering just a little. I think my tension is too tight, but the pink isn't popping as much as I wanted it to. Maybe on the green it will, but pocket is on. Happy. Okay, so we've done the front and the back seams. I just rinsed and repeat. So essentially, I serged the edges, did a straight stitch, iron and folded it over, and then did another straight stitch. And here we go. Now I have to close up the legs, and it's going to be basically the same thing. I'm going to serge them closed, do a straight stitch, fold it over, do a top stitch. It's coming along. Yay. All right, we took a bagel break. Before I did that, I pinned up the, let me move you. I pinned up the crotch to sew up the legs, and the instructions say to stretch the first like 6 inches and then sew down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start from the crotch, the center of the crotch, stretch this out, and then continue going down the rest of the leg, and then flip it and do the other leg. finished up sewing up the legs, as you saw, I did the same thing. I did a straight stitch first. I should have serged first, but I did a straight stitch, then I serged, and then I did a top stitch. So now what we need to do is do the waistband. So we do a 1/4 of an inch fold, then fold that down 2.5 inches, 2.25 inches, and then I put 2-inch, what is this called? Elastic in the waistband, and then sew it all closed. So we're gonna do that now. So I've pinned down the waistband, and so now I'm gonna sew along the edge, but I'm gonna leave a gap that's probably like 4 inches so I can feed the elastic through, and I'm gonna leave that gap in the back ideally. So we'll go ahead and start this. So I've sewn up the waistband, and I left this little pocket in the back to be able to feed through the elastic. So now I'm just going to use this elastic. I really like this elastic. It's the Dritz soft waistband. I like it better than another waistband that I have. It's just really nice. So I'm going to measure 36 inches for this. Let's see. finished doing the hem. Now I'm gonna go try these on. I won't show you until the final product, but we have pants. This is the back with one pocket that alternates color. The front. Then we've got our hem at the bottom. I really wish the pink would pop more, but it's a nice little touch. But yay! Okay, now time to do the top. You saw me cut that out, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna ruffle first. I need to change the foot on my sewing machine. I use a ruffling foot, which looks like this. Well, minus the string, but it looks like this. So we're gonna do the ruffle, attach it to the bottom, and then we'll sew up the shoulder seams, we'll sew down the side, and then we'll sew it all together. Yay! Eee! Okay, we're doing this. So my machine came with a bunch of little accessories, and in it is, where is it? This little, essentially like a screwdriver. And so you undo the screw, and you take out this presser foot, and then you pop in this presser foot, and you screw it back in. You have to make sure that it's tight because you don't want your foot popping off, obviously. I've reached a stopping point. I'm getting a little frustrated. I had some issues with the top where it was too tight, so I brought the whole thing up and recut the neckline. I was really frustrated, so I didn't film it. The only thing I have left to do is finish the sleeves and the armholes, and I'm just gonna do a rolled hem on those. I've already done the hem around the bottom, so I might pick this up later tonight or tomorrow. You'll find out in a second. It is a new day. We are in the final stages of wrapping this up. So far we have the top, and it's color block, so blue, green, green, blue. All we need to do is finish the neck hem and the armholes, and I'm just going to do a rolled hem. So basically what I'll do is I'll go in, iron down 1/4 inch, roll it over, iron down another 1/4 inch, and then just top stitch it. And then we'll be done. Then we'll take some pictures and I'll show you the outfit, and it'll be so great. I will say, yesterday I got really frustrated. So the pattern that I'm using, the top, is too small for me. I didn't account for that. Like with the pants, like I did account for it by, going outside the seam allowance. I should have done that with the top. I knew better because I made this dress pattern literally the day before, and I didn't try it on, but I tried it on yesterday night and it didn't fit. And the same thing happened here. So basically what I did was move everything down. So I recut the neckline to sit lower, and so the shirt is actually shorter now, which it still looks good. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it still looks good. My thought was like maybe I could wear this as a dress or a shirt with the pants, but now it'll definitely just be a top. So lesson learned. It's okay though. It still came out. I still like it. So with that, we'll get to ironing and then sewing and then final product. Oh, so cool. Hello. Hopefully you can't hear all the background noise. I'm going to make this quick because they're doing construction next door, but we finished the outfit. Look how cute. I love it. I think it came out really well. I'm really pleased with the pants. I might hem them a little bit more. And the top, I do love. Like I told you, I had to do some like Franken top stuff, but I think it came out so nice. It's going to be so good for summer. Yay. Well, thanks for coming along on this sewing journey. I hope you had fun. And until the next time, stay safe and look out for your neighbor. Bye, friends.